Hi, I'm Sarah D. Welcome. I went to high school and took drama classes because I liked it. My drama teacher's name was Mr. Morris. And one of the things he said when he would be talking to us about the scene we were working on or just about acting in general was, make sure you ask yourself, what's your motivation? Or when you were doing something, he'd say, well, think about what your motivation is. What's your motivation? And I would think, okay. I don't know the right answer. And he didn't ask for an answer out loud. And I don't recall him explaining what that term meant, why he was asking that question and why it mattered. I didn't learn that until after I was married and had children. And in fact, it was a good question. He probably did explain it. And I just was probably so self-absorbed, I had no idea, I think living in my own world, motivated by my own motivations, which I wasn't even aware of, which I've come to understand have been and were and still are to a great degree at that point to get an A. That was my motivation. I wanted to get an A. I wanted to have a good report card. I wanted to look good. I wanted to do and step and say how he said to do and say and step. I wanted to follow instructions. I wanted to do it right. I wanted to be judged, deemed worthy of whatever the external accolade is, you name it. And why was I living for an external accolade and not considering my internal accolade? Why didn't I think about what motivated me? And what a beautiful question. What's your motivation? It kind of goes with that. What's your intention? Being intentional in life. What motivates you? What is your intention? So I was motivated by the external. Life's lessons are salted through everyday experiences. We don't always understand the full impact of our experience or how to make our experience for our good until we are ready to learn. Until we are ready to be humble. Jordan Peterson states that humility is basically when you know what you don't know is more important than what you do know. What you don't know is more important than what you do know. Another thing he said was he had asked two questions with regard to what humility is. And one question is, do you want to be right or do you want to learn? So if you want to be right, well, you're not being humble. If you want to learn, that's humility. And then the other question is, do you want to be the tyrannical king or the self-transforming fool? The song I'm going to sing for you today is entitled Tell Me Why. And it's really not a song I'm asking you to tell me why, because it's none of my business why you do the things you do. But it's my business to know why I do the things I do, what my motivation is, what my intention is, and really what I'm doing. Sometimes we do things and we're not even aware of it because we're so self-absorbed, in our own world, in our own mind. The way this song came about was one morning, my youngest son was supposed to be getting ready to get out the door to catch the bus for school. And he was playing on my guitar and I thought it was cool. He was doing this. And he just kept playing it over and over again. And I don't know what I was doing. I was in the kitchen doing something, maybe doing dishes, maybe eating. I have no idea. But finally, I just kept playing that over and over again. I said, but man, what are you doing? That sounds so cool. Because he didn't really play the guitar. In fact, most of my kids, yeah, I don't know. I didn't motivate them well, or they just weren't, they didn't want to do it that much or something. I don't know. One of my sons did play the trumpet, and that's cool. And one of them did play the bass, and that's cool. And they all kind of played on the guitar and the piano. Anyway, I digress. Irrelevant, right? So he was playing that, and I asked him, to show me what it was. And then I said, oh, wait a minute, you've missed the bus. I'm going to have to drive you to school, aren't I? And he said, yeah. And so maybe, the song is called Tell Me Why. It's talking about why you do the things you do. So maybe the reason he was doing that, I don't know, it's because he didn't want to take the bus and he wanted to ride to school. Well, I didn't ask him what his motivation was. I was excited about that little riff he had done. So I took him to school and I came home and I wrote this song. Tell Me Why. Tell me why you do the things you do. Do you know why you do the things you do? Do you like the picture you painted, the world you created? It's not too late to change unless you believe it is. Tell me why you do the things you do. Do you know why you do the things you do? The playground's open, but there's a work to do. The carousel is calling you. If you get the brass ring, well, you get a free ride. Yeah, right. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why you do the things you do. Tell me why you do the things you do. Do you know why you do the things you do? The universe is expanding still. You can change your stars if you will. Imagine what you want, then work to get your thoughts. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why you do, 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 you do the things you do. I think most of my songs are questions. Oh, my face is itching. Okay, so the universe is expanding still. You can change your stars, if you will. Imagine what you want and work to create your thought. Hold that thought for a moment. And we say a few more words. Be intentional in all you do. To what you intend intend to be true. Then you can determine if and when the fruit of your intention blesses you. And so if the fruit of your intention blesses you, another way to say that it blesses you is that you were encouraged enough to do the difficult things to get there, to keep that intention there. Hope that's making sense. I spoke if it encourages, go with it. If it discourages, go without in an earlier post. That's something that's really has helped me in my life. And it's not so much if the thought of doing the dishes encourages me, then do it. And if the thought of doing the dishes doesn't encourage me, if it discourages me, I'm going to go without doing the dishes. It's not the thought of the act in the moment. It's the thought of the fruit that act is going to create. The result. Because it's just a law that we can choose what we do, what we think, what we plant, what we sow, all that kind of stuff. But we can't choose what we're going to reap. We can't choose what's going to grow from what we do. We don't get to choose that. A long time ago, when I had that TV show I mentioned in my last post, I remember talking about this principle and how, okay, I get to choose. I'm making a choice right now, okay? I am going to let go of this pencil. I'm going to stop holding it, but it's going to stay there. My choice is to stop holding it and to have it stay there. I get to choose. I'm going to let go, but it's going to stay there. This is my choice. Those are my two choices, and I'm making both of them. I only get to make one of the choices. What I do, the result I don't get to choose. And that's another reason why it's so important for us not to be too connected to the outcome of our choice. We do our best to reach our goal. And we are not the only actor in our lives. There are other people with other motivations. And it all kind of fits together, and we don't always know the way it's going to fit together. Say, for instance, I posted one of my songs on my group in Facebook with my high school that I graduated from. I thought it would be cool to reach out and touch my classmates with the things that I was doing. And my song was banned from my classmates from that Facebook group because I was using it wrong. I don't understand. I might put this post in there and ask them why, because I don't know who the administrators are. But so we don't know why, but we can only do what we do. I can only post it, and they could do what they did. I didn't know why, because it was a place for us to reach out and communicate with each other, and that's what I'm doing in these videos, is I'm communicating and I'm sharing where I am in my life and what motivates me. And anyway, weird. I thought that was weird, but I didn't have any power over that. So moving on to the last part, I just wanted to leave you with the definition of humility one more time. Oh, and also, I'm going to put this on there because my classmates, some of them live in Spokane, Washington. And there is a place called Riverfront Park. And in this song, I talk about the carousel is calling you. And if you get the brass ring, you get a free ride. I wonder if that carousel is still there and if they still have the brass ring when you're going around on the carousel. And if you reach up high enough, you can get that brass ring, and then you have that little ticket that says you get a free ride. Does that still exist? I don't know. I had one of those tickets for, 20 or 30 years, and I finally threw it away. So that's my question for my classmates. According to Jordan Peterson, humility is when you know that what you don't know is more important than what you do know. I'm Sarah D. Make it a great day.